Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD here. We're going live for the third time. The time is 9:33. We have sniped both live attempts as we're trying to redirect the live broadcast. We have a following right here that's walking right up, rushing. Blue jacket, little brown dog. He's wearing even pajamas. He's about 7 foot tall. He's wearing even pajama pants, y'all. Pajama pants. We're reporting live for you. We are live right now as we have individuals trying to redirect the broadcast. We're live right here. You're to discuss right here on the corner of 3rd Street Northwest and Rittenhouse. We're right there reporting for you. We're going to get it started right now for you. All trying to redirect a broadcast that doesn't belong to them. Total thieves. In the day in which we will release the portions of the audio recordings that may have already been released. And that is the reason why we place distance and time between the two versions. We may have an illegally released version, as well as the version that's coming from Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD StreetNOW News JIT today. Our release for today will be minimum because of pertinence and relevance. Based on facts shown regarding abuse of the badge, the authority of the badge by the officer who gave instructions that was intending to set up, frame, sabotage, and entrap the victim. Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD StreetNOW News found a full release of the audio. It's not even pertinent. It's not even important. Because what you would hear... Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD here, and we are discussing the release by Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD. The video or the recording would be on simply February that occurred to Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD. Second leg of officers doing an investigation on something that they already knew. What we have to say about what you will be seeing is a second phase of the abuse portion without seeing the first phase that we do have. It's not even pertinent. So releasing the audio, and the reason why it's not important would be showing you something that is not even pertinent. Those officers should not have surrounded or anyone in that particular matter after an officer with them that was sitting out there had just instructed of the investigation to move the car. This particular officer instructed me to move the car, and this officer then waited who are planning that particular investigation are the ones who now you're driving. So manipulated the registration. Well, the officer right there just told me to move. Investigating something. I'm expecting this officer to come and say, "Well, I just told him the investigation was set up." The officer sit back there and watch. Washington D.C. Metropolitan the officer that instructed me to move the car sit right back there and watched the victim right with him. He was one of the 6 cars under the badge of law. I have decided to either to release the extremely minimal portion only to show that we have the information, so that we have to handle the situation in court. We can handle the situation in court. But you, those 6 officers are illegally rushed appears to be coming out of 4D. Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD. A plan that because they were with the officer who told me to move. Get down and going to Alcatraz. I'm Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD. The officer gave an instruction. He gave an instruction that we plan to release to cause harm. Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD here, and we are discussing the release of the audio from the detainment on February that occurred to Terry DWAYNE ASHFORD on February the 26th. And what we have to say about that is we are releasing a very minimal portion only to show that we do have. It's not even pertinent. It's not even important. And the reason why it's not important is because, one, those officers should not have surrounded or anyone in that particular matter after an officer with them that was sitting out there had just instructed to move the car. This particular officer instructed me to move the car, and this officer then waited, 6 of them, to come to say, "Now you're driving the car." Well, the officer right there just told me to move it. I'm expecting this officer to come and say, well, I just told him to move it. The officer sit back there and watched. The officer that instructed me to move the car sit right back there and watched. Right with him, he was one of the 6 cars. So I have decided to either to release a extremely minimal portion, only to show that we have the information, so that if we have to handle the situation in court, we can handle the situation in court. But those 6 officers are illegally rushed and bomb rushed Terry Dwayne Ashford because, one, they were with the officer who told me to move. The officer gave an instruction. He gave an instruction with the intention to cause harm to the person whom he was giving the instructions to. The officer gave an instruction under trust, and the person trusted him and moved. And the officer was sitting right there. For everyone to know, that was within seconds. There, wasn't even minutes. That is seconds. Ridiculous. You don't tell me that it's not ridiculous. You don't tell me that. Terry Dwayne Ashford here reports for you. We're only releasing a minimum because it really doesn't even matter what was said, because we already have what was done, because we have the documentation, and we also have the fact. Yeah, the fact that an officer instructed me to move, and that officer was there when 6 other officers pulled up. And that officer said absolutely nothing, sat right there and watched. Terry Dwayne Ashford reports live for you. Let us also remind you that there is a federal case in the U.S. District Court that's instructing the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police officers to stay away from Terry Dwayne Ashford. And you are still in violation of that federal case. By even bothering me, you are in violation of that. Do you not understand that? Yes or no? You have a problem. You do have problems. And as a result, I, Terry Dwayne Ashford, as a result of the documentation and also the facts regarding how it all occurred, we've decided to release only a minimum portion because it doesn't even matter. It appears that the police officers was doing investigation on the seconds of the audio that have even been there that is released. So it's only not even to show that we have the audio. We already have what was done. We already have how it was done to release the audio. We already have the fact that an officer instructed the police officers to move, and that officer sat right with more than out in the first place. 7 approached it illegally, drive up 6 damn officers waiting, charge 6 of right there. 1 officer, Terry Dwayne Ashford, came over, approached, and requested the person to move. That officer sat right there and watched the 6 drive up, sat right there and said absolutely nothing. That is fucking ridiculous. And that is also corruption. Just in case you don't know, we do know that. For StreetNOW News, I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. The stressful situation that we're mentioning there is one that you, the officers, were intending and trying to sabotage and terrorize an innocent person. That's what you were doing. We're going to leave it at that. It didn't even matter what was said, because you were investigating something that you already knew, because you was the one that did it. Yeah, I just don't like, I'm already in a very, very stressful situation. Oh, I understand that. And been in a very, very stressful situation. So, bro, when did you buy the car? 2019. You didn't buy it in 2019. It was around. Where did you buy it from? It was, I bought it from, I bought it from a lot. It's right there on, you know where Benning Road turns into a... As we close this out, by the same token, in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, does not want no officer. He does not want a person who is running around with this badge, trying to get ass in his mouth, whatever the case may be, whatever the duty is that you say that you want to keep undercover. He's not interested in that shit. He believes you need to be doing your fucking duty while you're on duty. That's what in the car seat that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, believes. He's not interested in you like that. So I want you to stop trying to even extort a person's life. Child, please. The fuck would have an officer run around here doing what he's doing, trying to get me with a badge, with his badge on. Aren't you supposed to be at goddamn work? Yes or fucking no? Alright, that's how I feel. Take your ass to work. Those few seconds is as much as In the Car Seat That Guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, is going to release from StreetNOW News. And the reason why is because any more, it's not even pertinent. This particular report has been delivered to you on February the 28th, Sunday morning, by Terry Dwayne Ashford, StreetNOW News Chick, who is also the In the Car Seat That Guy. The current time is 8:22 Eastern Standard Time here in Washington, D.C. The delivery of this particular report was preceded by a stalking officer in a Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police vehicle. Tag number for that vehicle is 13663. On the morning of February 28th, Sunday morning, encircled In the Car Seat That Guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, as this particular report was been delivered and designed and prepared for you. The report findings is that the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police manipulated it all from the manipulation behind the scenes of the DC motor vehicle and the registration of the vehicles from the beginning, with the intentions of using that particular manipulation of the tag registration of an innocent person who does not involve himself in crimes. The only way they can get him is manipulating a vehicle. That particular manipulation was intended to work along with social engineering of the society and the communities. DC United, as the soccer team reflect. That particular social engineering and the manipulation of the tag was supposed to push the victim, just as you saw last night of the following people in the night, out into the hands of the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police as he tried to get away from the crimes. That is exactly what you're seeing. And in the end, as this particular ploy had planned and thought would succeed, in the end, the officer who had bought illegally through human trafficking, we allege, sex trafficking, we allege, the officer who had bought the journalist-in-chief, Terry Dwayne Ashford, was then supposed to obtain him through captivation on the registration that they manipulated through the arrest of police. And we have sniped that. This particular report is coming to you from Terry Dwayne Ashford, the victim, on February the 28th, around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In an abbreviated summary, you have manipulation of tag registration for an innocent person who doesn't do bad things in the public. And that violation was supposed to work along with social engineering. That social engineering was supposed to encaptivate an innocent person. That encaptivated captive was then supposed to be handed over to the buy-in Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police. And you saw that as of February 26th. StreetNOW News. I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. It's been squashed. And now you have it. The journalist that came here to research to further his career was supposed to be captivated for the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan buy-in police officer. And that was the reasoning for withholding the black journalist career by the black people. Squashed, baby, squashed. I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. I'm your Jack, and that is why I am your journalist-in-chief podcaster. Cannot be anyone else. Not based on race, not based on anything else. It has to be me. As the findings reflect that the audio may have been illegally released anyways, beforehand, by someone else, behind the scenes. That is ridiculous. Please check out the profile and the spotlight and the showcasing of In the Car Seat That Guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, by clicking the link within the narrative of this broadcast.